just thinking of Mount Rushmore, some of Michelangelo's works, and comparing that all to golf. Like one's pursuit of happiness requires that there's something that you utilize to pull you down through history. You can imagine it took a long time to create Mount Rushmore, and whoever had the original idea stuck with and got through all the boundaries, all the reasons why it shouldn't be done, to produce something that's going to be there for an extremely enormous amount of time. Even, you know, work on Sistine Chapel and the roof and all artwork. Some artwork just takes an enormous amount of time. And you've got this image, this thing that's pulling you down through the time period to produce this thing of art, this something that's going to communicate something to the individuals that look at it. Even golf, and trying to bring it back to golf, there's got to be something that pulls you through the hard times that are going to be ahead of you, because it certainly is not all roses practicing golf and trying to improve. Anyway, a hell of an analogy trying to come up with an idea between that and Mount Rushmore, but it's a bit of a lifelong journey that one is on, so there needs to be some pretty good reasons why to continue to practice, to play the good shots, the bad shots, the good days, the bad days, the times that you win and all the times that one loses. There's got to be something that's pulling you through each and one of those experiences in order for you to succeed. And who knows what does succeeding mean? I don't know, I'm sure you've got some ideas yourself. But for me, there's something about having struck the golf ball in such a way that it compresses, squashes against the club face and against the grooves of the club face, that results in a feel and a sound unlike any other, and it's almost effortless. And in fact, once that ball is compressed and squashed against the club face, there is a sensation or experience where it's almost nothing, and yet all other experiences of striking the club face with the golf ball, or in all other spots around the club face, none of them equate to the sensation or the experience of having actually made contact in the most center part of the what we call sweet spot of the club face. Now, I actually think that there's a slight problem in this, in that I'm sure there's many opinions about this, but I believe that the sweet spot of the club face is getting so much larger than it ever was in order to compensate for the smaller miss hits and so forth. But that sensation that I'm talking about, I believe, comes from the older blade golf clubs. So then if we magnify that, you can talk about the driver. A small sweet spot will give you an incredible sensation when you hit it out of there. A lot of feel. But then as you compensate for the mishits and make the driver larger and larger, you might get the golf ball going down more consistently. But do we actually now begin to lose a little bit of that feel, that sensation of the golf ball being squashed against the club face, the sound that it makes? Can we go too far? That's an interesting question, isn't it? So, yeah, interesting.